It is so great to see all of you here in Ohio. And again, Alexis, Amy, thank you, and Amy's incredible conference team and all the volunteers. Just give them a hand for a huge thank you. I'm not kidding when I say and everybody at my college knows, and people in my community know, in terms of theater community, my theater family, they know this is my quote work/vacation because I get to be here with my chosen family. And kid you not, it's been like this since I started here with y'all back in 2012, and y'all haven't been able to get me out the door. You find your way, you find your roots, you find your connections, you find your way that you're able to serve and to be with AATE and to be able to help grow the work that has been going on for decades here. And that history continues to move on and on and on. And at the same time, as we do that, we evolve and we change. And so, again, everything we do here is because of you. Everything that happens here is because of you, and also because of our amazing board. And having said that, we will start our annual meeting. Let's get started. So our agenda for today is we're going to give you some community updates, okay? So we'll give you an executive update. We'll talk about programming AEJ, which is anti-racism, anti-oppression, equity, and justice, research and scholarship, communications, the governance committee, as well as finance, very important, membership, very important, as well as our elections, also very important because we do have a vote today. So we have a vote on our bylaws that's going to happen today, so please, please, please do not get out early because we need a vote. And then new business, where we will go ahead and celebrate and welcome our new incoming board into their new leadership position, as well as talk about membership volunteer opportunities, and then as well conference sponsor and exhibitor acknowledgement, because we have some incredible stuff in there. So I know earlier today, when we left from the last general session, that one of the things we said was go visit the exhibitions and all that stuff, right? So one thing you should to stress is that all of those people that are there sponsored. They paid money to be here to have a table. That money helped us to continue to do the programming that we're doing here at the conference. So when we say please go visit, it's not just to say go visit and say hi, it's also to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for whatever support you gave us. Thank you for all the swag you gave us and all of that. And more importantly, make that connection, because sometimes there's got some stuff there that they got something that you want that will actually help your program grow. So go ahead and make that connection, establish that relationship, but more importantly, say thank you. Because those tables, that's money. And that money helps us grow. And help make sure also that the people that are here are able to go, and the people that need that lift, they get the lift. More important. All right, moving forward. So I'm going to bring Amy to the stage, who will now give our land acknowledgement.
Good late morning, early afternoon, everybody. So thank you for bearing witness to our welcome and land acknowledgement. In preparation for this, I ended up doing what I did for most of Cleveland's conference, which is check in with the local experts on the subject. And my latest research and consultation indicates to me that a person bearing a white body should be carrying the emotional labor of acknowledging the history of trauma surrounding Native populations' treatment on this soil. So that is why I'm the one here doing this. It was given to me as a best practice right now. So, the American Alliance for Theater Education respectfully acknowledges the many indigenous peoples who once made Ohio their home. They were forcibly expelled from the state in the early 1800s under the policies of settler colonialism, a legacy that continues today. The families of many current residents came into the region in the mid-1900s under the Federal Indian Relocation Act, which encouraged natives to leave their reservations and assimilate into urban populations with the aim of erasing indigenous communities, cultures, and identities. The Native nations who signed the Ohio treaties in the 1700s and the 1800s include the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, Lenape, Iroquois, Seneca, Cayuga, Miami, Kaskaskia, Pinakashaw, and Wea, today of the Peoria, Shawnee, and Wyandot. The Indigenous people who live today in the Northeast Ohio region mainly represent Ottawa, Ojibwe, Choctaw, Navajo, Iroquois, and Lakota, but also many other nations. And this is the part where I took my own script. I encourage you to use your time in Cleveland to listen to a podcast by the local WYSO to learn about the history of this region's native populations and their uncertain future. I also encourage you to support the Lake Erie Native American Council, LNAC, or the Cleveland Public Theater's upcoming production of Haunted by Tara Moses, opening in March 2026. If you're local to Cleveland, wherever you can make the drive, please patronize this production. I have a second slide addressing this. These QR codes will take you to the one on the left, my right, your left. That is the podcast. It's a 12-part podcast by the local NPR teaching you about the Ohio Native populations, history, and current situation. The one in the middle is LNAC, and if you are familiar with the Cleveland Guardians, they and the current administration trying to rehash all of that, the LNAC are taking the lead on navigating their place in current politics. And then Cleveland Public Theater's QR code is on the right, and that will tell you about their amazing production that's going up later in this coming season about Native populations, and it's a really cool horror story. So, as I finish, those are the QR codes. As we reflect on the near erasure of the Native peoples in the Lake Erie region, I ask you to continue to resist the continuing genocides occurring in our world today, as well as on our own soil. These acts of violence are the acts of the United States. Bearing witness to the history of genocide of Native populations is a weak and cruel act if we are silent in the face of the latest iteration of white supremacist erasure of global majority humans. This conference will further connect us to each other. It will be a weekend of play, curiosity, and reflection as we relish the privilege of theater and education and stages. May we hold our responsibilities to each other and our greater community in mind. And thank you to the Cleveland Archaeological Society for their insight into the history of Native populations of the greater Cleveland region. All right, meeting agreements. We do hope that this is a meeting of all of us, even though one of us will be holding a mic at a time. These are agreements that we've actually held for a while now, and we have found them to be useful in navigating our dynamic ideas and voices. Many agreements: listen more than you speak, be aware of your power and privilege and how to use it. Enter as a learner, lead with inquiry, and phrase thoughts as questions, as opposed to judgments. Focus on actions rather than adjectives. Speak from your own experience, don't assume identities, and do not ask individuals to speak for their perceived social group. Assume goodwill, but remember, intent does not equal impact. Be accountable to how your words and actions are received. You are encouraged to find satisfaction in the takeaways of each conference session. Practice self-care and community care. A successful conference does look different to everyone. Listen to learn, not to respond. No one knows everything, but together we know a lot. Listen to the thoughts, perspectives, and knowledge of others without judgment. And a lot of these were formed through hours-long conversations, and so these are sound bites that you need to unpack with a board member. I volunteer myself, as well as many other board members, to be like, yeah, let's have those conversations, because these are hard-earned meeting agreements. And then, the executive committee updates. I'm gonna hand that back to Joel Jason.
Okay. So we started this year enacting the first of our 3-year strategic plan. So we began with anti-racism and equity work, where we focus on the board, examine the organizational structure through anti-bias and anti-racism lens. We engage members in sustained dialogues regarding anti-racism and anti-bias topics. We examined the use of language from an anti-bias and anti-racism lens, and we invested and nurtured the current and future global majority leaders. Everything that we've seen thus far this past year we have worked very hard to align to that. More importantly, we've been working really hard to figure out, in this moments right now, how do we continue to do that and support everyone? Because everyone is not having the same experience. So we've been working and making sure that people are getting the support and able to continue to do the work that they're doing in the communities. And how we're doing that is looking very differently from state to state to state because of the fact that we know that sometimes we've got to speak in code. Sometimes we've got to be very creative. And thankfully, we're able to work in a community of professionals just like you out into those communities and be able to figure out how do we do that to make sure that everybody is seen, they are heard, and that their voices are lifted and everyone is lifted and they are affirmed, that they are worthy of respect, love, and dignity from everybody. Finance, Amy, if you want to come up here and talk about that, or do you want me to continue? There you go. So again, other things that we were talking that we've been working again with the board, and in terms of the strategic plan, is responsible stewardship. So again, AAT board focused on the efforts to move that organization to operate entirely in the black, which we have been working very hard toward. And again, current times, that has been a bit of a challenge, obviously. And again, we're being creative. Sometimes being creative, if you notice, we've been sending out a lot of information to y'all, or also giving you opportunities to support the work that we're doing, either you yourself or by connecting us to people that would be willing to sponsor, willing to donate, willing to provide in-kind donations. All of that helps the organization and the programming. In terms of as well looking at maintain multiple revenue streams to include year-round income and in-contributions. And again, that goes back to the awesome work that the board does, but more importantly, the awesome work that Alexis and her team does to make sure that happens. And I would say mainly Alexis, of course. And then more importantly, justice-focused allocation of resources. AAT will position our budget as a moral document. And that word moral document was something that we learned and embraced when we were in New York years ago. And that our budget is a moral document. That money is out for us, for the communities, and for the membership, for you, to continue to do the work that we've been doing for decades and decades and decades. You have the right to know what we're doing and how we're doing it. And more importantly, to know that we're doing so in a way that we're doing it responsibly and making sure that we're being very transparent in what we're doing. Next slide. Member support. We continue to offer the tiered scale, pay what you can, membership and programming fees. And again, it goes back to making sure that in terms of our equity and justice, that we're making sure that everybody has an opportunity to engage. It might be it's going to be a lower scale fee for somebody. It might also be that it's going to possibly be a fellowship or a scholarship. All of that happens because we're all lifting each other up and we provide any type of monetary funds, sponsorship, or whatever to make that happen. We're continuing to offer organizational Leaders of Color Institute-specific mentor programs to expand the membership base. I would probably say that all of us here got connected to AATE because we had somebody that said, there is a great organization for you to be here. There was somebody there that was there to listen to you, to support you, to hear you rage, to help you find clarity, and then you found your home here. This in itself, to have that type of opportunity to do mentorship is important. If you haven't stepped into that space as a mentor or a mentee, do so. Because sometimes the relationships you get from that is just invaluable. It's priceless. So consider that, even that is an opportunity, an act that you can do that will actually support and further all the work that we do here. Because again, we have all these people that are going to be emerging artists, that are going to be new guard, that one day will end up being the chair here. Being the executive director somewhere, a dean, right? And so again, the other things we do is offer affinity groups to support existing and new members and highlighting open access and allyship. And y'all, if there's any moment that we need an affinity group, it's now. It's the moment where we need to come into community, support, and lift one another and say, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, you are worthy. And then we're going to continue to offer both online and in-person programming to maintain access for all, which we continue to do all throughout the year, which we'll continue to do now. Even more so, you'll see in the next slides over, that in terms of the programming we're doing, we heard you, and we know that you want to do in person, but more importantly, you want to be able to do that in your regions, and that's what's been happening. So when you know that there's something happening, like we got a symposium happening, we're gonna have LCI happening, all those things, those are happening in your regions, find a way that you can get there. Find your friends to go if you can't go. Whatever you can do, that's gonna be wonderful. And then the other thing will be is that we're gonna be we did was survey membership and programming of organizational skills and benefits and the possibilities to align the programming response to the needs of our members. So again, we've sent out the membership survey to figure out what is it that you want, what is it that you need? What is it that you want to see in the future? What is working, what is not? And we took all of that information and data and we've been going through it and figuring out what is working, what can we make better, what can we tweak, what can we be more innovative about. And so if you want to know more information about our strategic plan, you can do this QR code. It's also on our website, ready to go. And you can check it out. And so as we move into year 2 and year 3, we'll continue on. And in a few years from now, we'll have our new strategic plan for the 28 to 30. I have to do math. All right, next slide. So I'm going to bring Alexis up here to talk about program review.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to talk about last year really quickly. So we did a conference last year, 2024. We did it in Chicago. Yay, that was such a good conference. We also followed that up with Leaders of Color Institutes in 3 different states. We had Utah, New York, and Seattle, Washington. Amplify and Ignite was our first, that's our second iteration. We had an earlier iteration in New York of Amplify and Ignite, followed by Boston with Emerson College just this past March, and our ongoing mentor program, which Joel Jason just referenced. This is an impact report, which we actually haven't really had until this year, so this does live on our website. Do check it out. It's an overview of what we've done. It's really kind of interesting and rather cool to look at. So you can QR code it or just go to our website and it lives under our programming. Upcoming programming. We have some very good stuff. I don't remember what's first though. Oh, excellent. Morgan and Elizabeth.
Hello. If we haven't met, my name is Morgan Evans. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Elizabeth Dunneries, she, her pronouns.
And we're both on the board ending our first term, which is really exciting. So we've been working on Leaders of Color Institute New York. Before this, some of you may know it was an online convening, and this past year we started doing regional events. And it was really, really exciting last year with NYU and Roundabout helping us out. We were able to put on just an amazing event and a convening of people at a time where some of these things are maybe not as encouraged. It was really, really wonderful to just come together and share this community and share food and share ideas and practice.
And so building on that, we want to focus this upcoming event, which will be in October 25th in New York City, on joyful connection. That is our overarching topic, and we are really excited to see what you think that means and what you want to share and what you want to facilitate there. So if you have an idea about what would be a lovely opportunity to have happen there, come and talk to one of us. We might accept your proposal on the spot. We might say, hey, that's a really interesting idea. Let's keep this conversation going. So if the putting pen to paper or words to a screen is a barrier, come and chat with one of us and we can figure out a way to get you there and get you involved and make something beautiful.
And their bring us on is Glenna Barrett.
Hey everybody, Glenna Barrett, she, her. I am based in Chicago and we'll be hosting an institute in October of this year. There is a theme. There is. It's in my email. Ask me about it later. But October 17th, we'll be hosting it at Governor State University, where I am faculty. So it's just outside of the city of Chicago. But yeah, one day. So if you are local, please let's connect. Want to talk about programming. I do know that we will be doing at least one workshop with Elisa Vera Ramos on strategies in participatory theater making. So we have that, but more to be confirmed. So yeah, holler at me.
So those two to look for sure. As we've mentioned, Amplifying Ignite continues strong, which we're excited about. We have one coming up in Utah. And not only that, we're accepting proposals right now, but the window closes in about 2 weeks on August 8th. So make sure you get your proposal in. AAT.
All right. Hi, folks. Jonathan Jones. He, him. Are you dreaming about getting away with your creative team to plan for an upcoming production? Or partnering with scholars and researchers for writing workshops and focused writing time? Imagine an opportunity for creative retreat. Join us, if you will, in March of 2026 at the Stony Point Center in Stony Point, New York, near to West Point, New York, if you're familiar with the Hudson Valley. And we, if we go to the next slide, will find ourselves out in nature, not in a city. Imagine. All right, and the next slide. Wonderful. What we're doing is, for members, it's an all-inclusive rate. You just have to get yourself to New York City, and then we will get you from New York City to the Hudson Valley, where there is housing, food is included, and also our access to the various spaces that we'll be using is all included in the cost. What you should know is this was initially planned as a writer's retreat. And as we had conversations about what that could be like, we realized that having a writer's retreat was excluding a lot of people. And given the full kind of tapestry of work that we do in this field, folks might actually want some time away from life to be able to work on whatever it is that they need to work on. So in addition to these prices that are here, those are the prices for individuals, but we really actually encourage you to come with partners who you want to work with, so that way the two of you can be there together in community with the rest of us, and you can have time to get your business done. And so there also is a reduction if you're coming as a partnership rather than as an individual. But in any case, the information that's on the website right now refers to our prior idea about what this would be. So just know that the information on the website is going to be updating since we changed our location, but it will be coming up quite soon, and we hope to see you there. What's next?
So this is continuing on with new programming. We do have a graduate credit offering, which we also do offer for the conference. But this is tied to all those workshops that we've been recording on Zoom. We have over 200 plus virtual workshops in our AAT library. You can actually get 1 credit hour for 12 hours of asynchronous learning by viewing those workshops. And the access is free to members, and it will be a $50 access charge for non-members. And if indeed you want the credit, then it's just a $125 charge to Trinity University, who's the one who gives out our graduate credit. In addition, we're also offering a Teaching Artist Certificate. This Teaching Artist Certificate is a 2-year professional development program designed to recognize teaching artists who engage with AAT's educational opportunities. Again, this is accessed through our learning library of 200 plus virtual sessions. So you can take 24 hours of asynchronous learning, and you submit your application by September 1st, 2025, and you complete 24 hours of professional learning, and you will have your reflection final due on May 1st, 2027. Again, these are just dates to give you a rough idea. It's ongoing, and just keep repeating through time. While our digital library covers a variety of inspiring topics, it is by no means comprehensive, and we're aware of that. With that in mind, please let us know if you'd like to host an online TS workshop to add additional content.
I'm so excited, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm Kathleen Pettyway, and I'm Dakota D'Amato, and we, along with our co-chair, the wonderful Beth Watkins Brown, are so excited to welcome you to the beautiful city of Greenville, South Carolina, 2026. Can we play the video? That's us. Then, yeah. No sound, but it's fun. Beautiful waterfall. Beer. Car. Yoga. Sports. Children. The waterfall's the best.
Furry.
Okay, so I've been a South Carolinian for the last 11 years, and I am consistently amazed by the stories, art making, and history of my colleagues, friends, and fellow artists. I cannot wait to share with you the incredible artistry of my fellow South Carolinians, as well as artists from all over the Southeast region. Not to mention, we promise good food, you saw, beautiful nature, and of course, our famous Southern hospitality. And because D'Amato and I are involved, you can expect lots of sparkles and singing and dancing, and D'Amato, you have to tap dance now. One foot. My great mentor, my mentor, the great Betsy Quinn, when I was an undergrad, would often say, like, if you stood too close to Betsy, you'd end up getting a job. And I am really proud to carry on that tradition. I've talked to several of you already who I know are in the Southeast region and said, oh, you should get involved in conference next year. Why don't you be on our committee? So if you stand too close to me, you might end up with a job. And I hope that any of you who are in the Southeast region will talk to me, talk to Dakota. We'd love to have you involved on our committee for next year. And we really look forward to showcasing all of the incredible artistry that's in the Southeast region. Of course, like all places in our country, South Carolina has a history of oppression that we are continuing to reckon with today. And we hope to confront, expose, and heal from this past through our theme, Echoes of Us, theater that reflects, resonates, and revives. When we create theater, we are constantly surrounded by echoes of our past, present, and future. We hear the voices of past mentors and experiences, and we imagine the future that we want to create in our classrooms, in our rehearsal spaces, and in our performance spaces. So when you join us in Greenville, which I hope you're all going to do, you will be joining us in Greenville. We would love to have you explore the following questions. How does our history inform where we are now? What echoes of the past are resonating in our theatrical present in positive or negative ways? What echoes do we hope to send into future practice and performance? Theater and theater education are so many things. A collaborative practice of remembrance and possibility, a tool for social justice and change, a force for protest, preservation, and transformation, a space for healing and empowerment, and a mirror for lived and shared experiences. We can't wait to explore all of the many things that theater and theater education are together in Greenville, so we invite you to listen to your own echoes and join us next year in 2026. And we have another video.
This one has fun quotes from the people coming out.
And there is sound.
There is sound on this one. Yeah.
More dancing. Lights.
It's small, it's walkable, it's cozy.
There's lots of nature. There's some great theater.
Oh. Yes, that food coma, you will have
The food coma is, there's so many good restaurants, y'all.
great running opportunities for Jonathan Jones. Yeah, Jonathan Jones.
Thank you for the work and meetings this past year for our networks and special interest groups. Several networks have elected new chairs this weekend, so we'll get more information from those folks. I would highlight that very often at our network meetings, we have kind of recurring conversations about things that we're going to do, and those things don't always happen. So rather than having meetings about meetings, as you know, we need some action, and we will take action momentarily.
Hello again. So in talking about anti-racism, anti-oppression, equity, and justice, I have been working closely with the lovely Cindy Castro on just kind of assessing where we're at with this work right now. If you are a human being that exists on this planet, in this country, you know that there's a lot happening. And so with that, we were kind of having a lot of conversations about how we want to reapproach this work with all the context in mind. So this past year, obviously, we hosted the LSCI events regionally, and those really did adapt and were like living, breathing, I think just like plans of how we're going to address the needs and challenges of each community in these regions, which is one of the beautiful things about it being a regional event. And so with that, we kind of want to do the same thing as we approach AIEJ. And so this year, we're talking about like, there's things happening. How can we better advocate in this field? Where we were at in 2020, we did so much work. And now, 5 years later, how do we want to reassess? How do we want to make sure that we are adapting and approaching this work to the best of our ability? So we're talking a lot about how we can better advocate. We want to reset and dig into the needs of our membership and what the role of the committee should be, because we work for you. And so we want to make sure we're reflecting what are the things at the top of your mind, how can we be of support, how can we make sure that we are making you feel confident as you go into the classroom or the workplace or whatever community that you show up in. So we need your support. We cannot reset and have new ideas if it is just us. And so we want to hear exactly how you are feeling, exactly what you need, so that we can start working on that together. I think there's another slide. Thank you. Yes, we have a QR code with the dinosaur. So if you're interested in joining this committee, please sign up. I know that there have been some previous interest. If you don't mind filling this out again, but I will find those names in my email. And then we will make sure that we have a convening where we can really talk about this in an open discussion and just hear from you about what it is that you need and how we can help. Who's next?
Sorry, I didn't know I was going to be speaking.
Hey, hello. I'm Dana, she, her pronouns. I'm the co-editor with Ansley Valentine for another 12 minutes of the Youth Theater Journal. Ansley, I will continue to be the co-editor of Youth Theater Journal. Youth Theater Journal is a publication of American Alliance for Theater Education. We publish everything from academic peer-reviewed scholarship and research to an original play for youth theater in every issue, as well as voices from the field and reviews of books and theater productions, youth theater productions, and we really encourage you to submit your work or to join us as a peer reviewer or a member of the editorial board.
Next slide, please.
Oh, Youth Theater Journal, me and Ansley.
Next slide.
This is so great. Research and scholarship. So, yeah, that's what I just said. That's great.
Next slide, please.
Oh yes, we are hiring. This is very exciting. A new managing editor, which I'm so excited about, which is a smallly paid position, correct? A stipend paid position, which is awesome. And a new editor to collaborate and partner with me over the next 3 years. I think it's a 3-year term-ish. Year, 2, 3 years. Please, if you are interested, if you know anybody who might be interested, it's super fun. It's an awesome way to really be able to see what's happening in the field and to recruit new material and new submissions and to just be part of the future of growing the knowledge of the field. So contact me if you're interested.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Avila, board member and current chair of the Communications Committee. I'm here to talk to you about another publication opportunity we have. and that is Elevate. If you are new to AATE or you're not familiar with Elevate, it is our monthly online blog. And what makes Elevate special is that the content for Elevate comes from you, the membership. So we have spent the last year restructuring, relaunching Elevate, and after a brief hiatus, we relaunched earlier this year, March or April. And I'm excited to introduce our editing team that we put in place as well. Our editor, Nigel Samaj, you're going to hear from him in a little bit, yes. Along with our copy editor, Ripley Stark, and our associate editor, Liz Wordman. So if you're interested in submitting something to Elevate for publication, I'm going to introduce you to Nigel, who's going to tell you what we're looking for and how to get it published. Nigel.
Hello, everyone. What we are looking for in terms of Elevate publications are case studies, reflections, lesson plans, photo essays, interviews, opinions, editorials, reviews. Essentially, if you have something that you have written or want to write about and don't know where to start, you can submit this interest form and chat with one of us if you need to, or put any information that you would like to. We're going to do interviews with folks. If you're like, I want to talk about a process that I'm working on, and talk to either myself, Ripley, or Liz, we can take that and turn that into an interview that we then post onto the Elevate blog. We post once a month. And so there is an interest form here, and then in this interest form there should be a link to a submission form. If there's not, you should be able to email us and we can send you the submission form. We're also looking for folks to turn their presentations that they do at symposia and national conferences into writings for Elevate. And so if you would like to do that as well, we just, in our submission form, we just ask that you have permission to share slides, information, photos. You need to go through the whole submission form. It's a Google form. It takes maybe 15, 20 minutes total to submit it in. And then Ripley will get back to you with edits or things of that nature. But it is a very sort of low stakes, and we are hoping that people can submit to us. So please, if you have any things to submit, place them into the interest form. We will be sending out emails either every other month or monthly that just sends out the submission form as well, so that you can then just submit. So if you're not sure if you're on that email list, you can also find me and give me your information, or you can email. It should be somewhere up there. editor@aat.com. Sorry that the picture is very tiny. It looks larger on my laptop. But the QR code is quite large, so you should scan it. But yeah, thank you all. Oh yes, and we are on, we host on medium.com, and so the link is also up here at the Medium platform. Please subscribe and follow us as well, so that you can get, once you subscribe to the Elevate page, you will get the updates when we publish. And so you'll get an email that says, here's what just got published. And so we usually aim to publish around the first 2 Fridays of the month. We wanted to do a first Friday thing, didn't work out. We're gonna try, but right now it's usually looking like the first 2 weeks of the month. One of those Fridays or into the tail weeks is when we'll be publishing. Yes, and then every email that you get in curtain call, there should be a link towards the middle to end part that also has a link to Elevate. So there's many opportunities, which means there's no excuse. You can find us.
I want to add something very quickly that I forgot to say, that we are starting a drop-in writers group at AATE that is going to be an open Zoom space monthly to just log in and be around if you feel like you have always wanted to write but have lacked that motivation or getting over that initial hump. It'll be a 2-hour session and you'll be getting emails about it, so stay tuned.
Through adherence to the AATE bylaws, we uphold the AATE mission, leaning into our race equity training and continue organizational transparency, because AATE is a member-based organization. Next slide. As such, we must have a vote today in order to amend our bylaws as follows. Whereas board members are an important trait of organizational bylaws, the role of past chair has erroneously been left out of section 4.3 of the bylaws. Therefore, let it be resolved that an editorial amendment be made in section 4.3 of the bylaws in order to clearly state that the board of directors shall consist of the following: the chair-elect, the past chair, where am I? At least 7 and no more than 14 elected board directors and optional 3 appointed board members selected by the board of directors. So as this indicates here, we had left out in our prior iteration of the bylaws the past chair in this enumeration of who is on the board, and it's important that we are clear about who we are and who our leadership are as well. So if we go to the next screen, this QR code takes you to the voting form, and we need everybody to do in the sketch as well. But we do need you to vote right now, and which I have to vote too. Sorry, I am a member.
And we have no cards if you're not technology savvy.
Okay, and once we're there, it's taking us to a Google Doc that asks you to agree or disagree. And we will share the results later. If you need to vote on paper, you can do that as well. Our staff members are circulating. If you need more time, please raise your hand so that I know that you need more time. Wonderful, and we'll go on. Thank you. Finance, Amy.
Me again. Hi, everybody. So in addition to being chair of this particular conference, I'll be your treasurer for 10 more minutes. Then I'm done. So finances. I believe in a combination, I take from advocacy, no data without a story, no story without data. So, our story. We had our strongest programming year, which is a programming narrative, but it reflects our finances. One of the things that really makes a difference in terms of how a conference and the organization is successful is all of these programming events. And so if you are sitting here thinking, I probably could do a symposium or something, but let me tell you, it also helps the organization's wellness as a whole from the financial perspective. We've also had a lot of successful grants this year, which have been meaningful, and we are in our strongest position to recover from the things that happened over the course of the pandemic and its immediate following. And those of you who have borne witness to my finance reports, for years now, I've been telling you the story of how we have continued to make decisions feeding into the membership's needs despite the uncertainties, the cuts, and having to take from some of our reserves that were meant to serve situations like this. But we are, as of the end of this conference, in a position to go back to our financial health pre-pandemic, which is fantastic. It is not going to happen unless we do things like strong programming throughout the year, conference attendance, and the fundraising events that we've been asking membership to participate in. So let me just underline that for you. We are looking forward. These are things that we are continuing to work towards in the strategic plan. We are looking to reduce resource-related barriers to participation, which is a fun and fancy way of saying not everybody can come to conference. Not everybody can afford to do this, that, or the other thing. And so all of these things that you heard people holding this microphone say, this is how you can get involved, this is how you can get involved, this is how you can get involved, that is the leadership's commitment to making sure that if you want engagement with AETE, there is a means to do it. And in general, if you find yourself having a resource-related barrier to participation, I use the word resource instead of money because it's not always about money. Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's transportation, sometimes it's training, sometimes it's what have you. If you are having a resource-related barrier to participation, tell us. One, because maybe we know something you don't about that. And two, it gives us the information we need to continue to work towards that goal. Secondly, we ensure adequate resources for the people who are doing the work. Our illustrious keynote, Nina, was so kind in making my heart sing by calling out the fact that, yeah, we pay people, and we pay them on time. So, and it is important that because our organizations work towards anti-racism, includes paying people for their work, for their emotional labor, for their time, talent, etc. This is part of it. Thank you. And in order to be able to do that, we need to continue to work towards the physical health of the organization so that we can continue doing that. And let us not forget, our leader is a gorgeous brown woman, Alexis Schroeder. And working towards financial health is supporting a global majority artist. So, examining the resource-related practices that no longer serve or actively harm the successful completion of these priorities. Nonprofits were built on white supremacy. I don't know if you know that. And while we exist as a nonprofit, we are trying to actively dismantle and recenter according to anti-racist policies. But it is not necessarily always within the scope of the leadership to be on top of everything. And so if you, as a human being who just heard me talk, know something that we don't know, it would be a gift if you would share that insight with us. In the meantime, please trust that we are continuing to do all of our practices through the lens of, are we systemically excluding somebody through our financial practices, which is what we mean when we say our budget's a moral document. Next slide. That's our story. Here's the numbers. So this is our fiscal year to date. If you don't like numbers, I put it in a pretty pie chart. If you love numbers and you would like more, I have more. But this is what we're looking at, just so you basically understand, this is how our money kind of gets split up. Amy, what does my conference fee go towards? What does my membership fee go towards? What does my symposium fee go towards? It goes towards the things that we said it would. Membership, conference, salaries, programming, and, you know, the boring stuff like insurance that we still need. Next slide, please. Fiscal year for 2024, we run on a January to December fiscal year, which is why you have to wait until July 25 to hear what I have to say about 2024. This is basically what we run everything down to. This is how everything breaks down. This is what this is all the kind of things. The thing I really want to point out is that if you have not committed my last 3 financial reports to memory, which I would forgive you for, program services. Programming has gone from 5% of our revenue to 12% of our revenue. And that is the difference. For an organization of our financial size, that is the difference between being okay and not being okay. And so that is one of the reasons why I want to once again underline, if you think I could probably host a symposium, I could probably host a thing, that would be huge for us. We are looking to move the needle. We're not looking to have any one member save us financially, but everything that you all do moves the needle. And in this case, we have found under Alexis's leadership that programming between conferences makes all the difference in the world, financially speaking. And also, yeah! So it would be a huge service if members continue to find ways to keep up. And taking off my finance hat, it makes such a big difference to our hearts and our professional development to be able to connect with each other more than once a year. Putting my financial hat back on. But it also helps us stay fiscally healthy. The net loss I want to quickly explain, because I have to explain it every year. We are a cash-based, not an accrual-based system. And the reason that's important is because in an accrual-based system, you count all of your money coming in, money going out, as well as things that are owed and things that are owed to you. And so, for example, one of the things that we do is that we will pay things way in advance, and it will show as a loss. So when you see things like huge gains, like last year I had 12,000 gain. Well, it's because we hadn't paid for something yet. And this year, by the time the end of December hit, you showed a huge loss. It's because we had paid for something. So honestly, while it is my responsibility to report net gains and net losses, it's not a very good representation of our health. I'll be really honest. If you wanted to look at a balance sheet, I can show you that, and that is a better indication of our health. Yay. Is this fun, you guys? Yes! I'm truly sad to no longer be your treasurer in 5 minutes. It's been a joy. Yes?
Can you help us understand the contributed? Is that like when we make donations?
That's you guys. Yeah, contributed income is you guys. Making donations to AATE, or people who are donating to the Betsy Quinn Fund, or to the, what else? The President's Fund. So the donations that you all make, cash donations that you make, which is a great transition. You have to say, it's a great transition. Can I see the next slide? This is pretty adorable. Stacy, she knew. She's a plant. She's a paid actor. Season paid? No, she's not. 50-50 raffle, for those of you who are inclined to get a little something back. 50-50 is legal in Ohio, and it's really fun to explain to the board that it's not always legal in every state, but here in Ohio, we do 50-50s, because we like that. All right, yeah, hold on, like 10 more seconds in case you want to scan it. Am I announcing the match? Nope. Go ahead. Double good popcorn. Other thing, if you like snackage, and if you don't like popcorn snackage, you can get it from my daughter. She would live off popcorn if I let her. I don't. Just in case you're wondering about my parenting methods. Next. Sees candies, I don't see. Oh, there's the QR code. Oh, the QR code was hiding. This is a fun game. It's like geocaching. Right there. Bottom right corner. Your left, my right. For sugar people, you could also get that for my daughter. I wouldn't let her live on that either. And then, it doesn't work, which is why it was hiding. Shame. Shame. General donations, directly to us, or you can talk to Fagan, who is much more charming than I am, and I take no shame in that. But yeah, so this is the kind of work that we're doing. And if you are not able to give cash donations, genuinely, Alexis and I have this conversation all the time. People showing up and doing the work is also incredibly valuable. So, finding a way to make it happen, y'all. I think, is that my last one? I'm done being a treasurer.
So really fast, nothing much has changed in membership, except we have seen some growth since last year. Our current membership is in the 580s right now. Our member rates do stay at the same amount, leaving tiered, with the lowest one being 100, and organizational options as well. If we can see the next slide, please. Election amazing.
Hi everyone, I'm Mitch Madsen, he, him pronouns. I am the current past chair of the board, and I am responsible for the elections committee on the board. And I'm thrilled to share that we have 7 new members of the board joining AATE's leadership. Excited to show the next slide and celebrate Lizzie, Melinda, Saya, Jimmy, Tiffany, Dana, and Nora. Will you please stand if you're here, new members? Yes, 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 yes. This is a member-led organization, and thank you for the next 3 years of your service. Those of you who are looking for an ear, 4 more people in this room to talk to. And then the next slide, we have a transition in chairs happening this year. I am stepping off of the board. Amy Reed, congratulations on being elected to the chair-elect position. Jonathan Jones, it's time you are taking over. It's a 2-year commitment as the board chair. Thank you. And Joel Jason, You'll be doing this moment next year. You've got it. Congratulations. Congratulations. And that is my role as the elections chair.
Hang on, Mitch. We're going to refresh this to show voting results.
It's happening. We're getting live results.
The results are in.
What's the name of the guy on NBC with the whiteboard who's always doing the thing? I felt it in that moment. Thank you so much for voting to edit our bylaws as the current past chair. I'm grateful. I'm now legally in the position that I'm in. Amazing. Next slide. Call for committee service. Is this an all hands on deck? Take it away.
Okay, so again, like Mitch said, and like what we all been like stressing as well, this is a member-led organization. AETE, back in the day, all of that was led by us, by the members, and it continues to do that. Everything that we do and everything that happens here is because we're involved and we're like lifting Alexis up and all the work that we do to make that happen. It would not happen, any of this would not happen if we weren't there doing the work. So I encourage you to find your gifts. You know what you're awesome at. You know what you maybe want to learn. And there you will be in community with people that will be there to lift you up to learn something new. And all of that happens by getting involved in these committees. The awards and readers. So all those awards that we're going to see later on today, we had people that said, I will read a dissertation, I will read a play, I will nominate somebody for their incredible achievement to the field, and all of that. And then read that application and see if like we're going to say yes. AEJ and EDIA, all of that. All of those things to make sure that we are aligned in what we say we believe in, that we're going to stand for, that we're going to fight for. All of that, that's because of you. Same thing with governance. To always make sure that we're falling in line with what we say we believe in and what we do, and that we're following the bylaws. And making sure that we are not going against that. The same thing with research and scholarship, communications, finance, programming, membership, and elections. All of those are committees that you can be involved in. And if there's something missing in that, talk to us. Talk to us. Let us know like what you're wanting to see happen that maybe that we haven't put in there, or that might be missing, or that you think like this is a good idea. Let's try it out. Next slide. Come on up.
All right. No more meetings about meetings. Right now is a commitment moment. All right? I need you to go to that QR code right there. And if there is something that you can do to volunteer for this organization, I need you to identify that now. And this form is asking only for your name, for your email, and then to select among that list of the things that you are interested in contributing to. And if you can contribute to those things, then we have your information and we can follow up with you and make sure that that happens, so that we do not arrive in Greenville next year and have another meeting about what we hope we might do. Instead, we'll have achieved some of that, and that will be really helpful. Thank you.
I just want to thank our sponsors again one more time. As was expressed, they have really supported us through this conference. So thank you again to Curate, to Dramatic Publishing, to Emerson College, Ludus, NYU Steinhardt, Ugando and Play, TND Musicals, Stories That Store, MTI, as Scenes from the Revolution, and Air Ancient Baths. And Amy has a word.
There hasn't been like an explicit opportunity to thank my conference committee, so I'd like to claim it really quick. So I was the chair. That's great. But I had three gorgeous humans who were with me the entire way, who made sure that the cool things that you experienced happened. And so I want to call out Heather Utzler-Smith, who's in the room with us. An amazing creator, and if you haven't had a chance to touch base with her, please do, because she will inspire you. And then also Carrie Williams of Dabama Theater, who's got the best laugh in the world, that you can hear it through the wall. And Jenna Masita of the Cleveland Playhouse. So these three humans really ensure that the things that you're going to tell people when you went home, oh yeah, we did this was amazing, and Cleveland was awesome this way, it's actually because of these three. I was just good at organizing them. They're the ones where it actually came from. So thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, so now we get to have a moment of celebration and thank you, because there's been some great people that have been doing the work all year long, and we want to say thank you to them. And then there might be some people that have been doing this for a little more than a year, board members. So we will begin with our citations and say a huge thank you. So first off is to Amy Reed for outstanding service as National Conference Chair and dedication and commitment to transforming young people through speaker theater and arts. There you go. You're welcome. Joe Salvatore for outstanding service as chair of the Book Awards and dedication and commitment to transforming young people and communities through theater and arts. J. Casey Lane in recognition of outstanding service as co-chair of the Achievement Awards. Thank you so much, J. Casey. Ramon Esquivel for outstanding service as co-chair of the Play Awards. Thank you, thank you. Elizabeth Ruiz, outstanding service as co-chair of the Leaders of Color Institute in New York. And Morgan Evans as outstanding service as co-chair of the Leaders of Color in New York. Dana Adele, I like saying that. Dana Adele, outstanding service as the co-chair of the Amplify and Ignite Creative Practice in and with Community Symposium. Thank you, thank you. Alexa Nastasi for outstanding service as co-chair of the New Guard Committees. Ansley Valentine, outstanding service as co-editor of the Youth Theater Journal. Thank you so much, Ansley. Thank you, thank you. Ashley Foreman, outstanding service as a board member for the American Alliance for Theater and Education. Thank you so much for all that you have done. You are an amazing human. Mateo Hernandez for outstanding service as a board member for the American Alliance for Theater and Education. Come on down. Felicidades, hermanos. Mitch Matson, outstanding service as board member for the American Alliance for Theater and Education.
I'd like to take a personal moment because without Mitch, I would never have learned about AAT. And because of him, I have this job. So thank you so much.
Having said that, I have to say too, thank you, Mitch, for being such an incredible mentor to me and being a part of this board. I'm gonna cry. Thank you. Okay. That's it. That's it. Alexa Nastasi. Come on down, Alexa Nastasi for outstanding service as co-chair of the New Guard Committee. Okay, real quick. This will be. So again, this is it for me as chair of the board for AATE. It's been an honor to be your leader, to be able to be part of this and work in community with all of you and our board. Board, thank you so much. I am not leaving. I still have 2 years as past chair, so you still don't get rid of me. But again, I want to say another thank you to Mitch Matson. Mitch has been an incredible human being, an incredible friend. And so I know you're not going in away, but again, it's one of those things where you're like, again, all the things that we do here, like again, this is my chosen family. And I think you all have that same type of experience here. And if you're new, I hope you have that experience. But the thing I want to say is that we got the opportunity because as board members, we come in, we do our board meetings, all of that stuff. We have other meetings that we're going to do, but at the same time, there's these moments that come in where after the board meeting or before the board meeting or whatever we're having to do, we have a moment where we get together to come together and just have a moment to check in. And yes, we'll talk business. But then the rest of that is about how are you? You doing okay? And then all of a sudden, it's this other conversation that's supportive and lifting up and laughing and being stupid and everything else that you can think about. And then here comes the whiskey. Because mama loves whiskey. But again, it's those types of things that happen. And in all of that, for Mitch and me, it was about having clarity of how to lead. Listening to that grounding voice. Because as I said to Amy, as Amy moves into chair-elect, you don't do this alone. You don't lead alone. Jonathan will not lead alone. We all lead in community. I lean into that. And I thank you. I thank you, Executive Committee. I thank you, board members. I thank you, membership, because we lean into each other. Lean into each other. Answer the call to serve. Be there for one another. When you find that person that you know that should be a part of the board, should be a part of the membership of AATE, just remember that somehow you were involved because somebody said, I know a place that you can be seen. I know a place that you're going to feel at home. That you will not feel that you're alone. Come with me. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. So again, thank you, and I'm going to now give the mic to Mitch.
Speaking of that, leaning in community, and this is the last few minutes of this meeting, but there are some incredible people in this room who are putting forward a kickoff to our strategic financial strategy goal for this next year, which is to rebuild our President's Fund, our future fund. It's the rainy day fund that AATE used during the pandemic to stay alive and to keep paying our employees and. So this is that moment. We're passing the hat. We're taking out your phone, and the donations that are made right now in the next 20 minutes are going to be matched up to $3,000. So we could raise $6,000 right now. And that's really exciting for me to be able to replenish a fund that makes this organization work. So I have orange hats. This is literally the moment to take out the wallet where we're going to pass these around if you've got cash. If you can scan the donation code, and I bet we can bring the donation code back up, QR code wise, but it would be amazing if you would join me, and I'm sending this around, if you've got a wallet for cash, if you've got a phone for, you can pass it on, I totally understand. But the people in this room, you are the people who love this organization so much. Thank you for being here. And as people who gave to the President's Fund when it was originally started over a decade ago, I believe, who said, AAT is going to need this someday. Thank you. There are people in this room who I know made that possible at the beginning. So to our matchers of 3K, let's make it 6K. This is really, these moments, they come and go. Thank you. Finance committee and people, thanks for your leadership. Alexis, thanks for supporting the organization and making it what it is. But it's all of us, so thank you.
Amen.
Yay team! As past board member, now I get to just wave the flag. I'm excited. Thanks everyone. Final words? We got 15 minutes to raise a lot of money, so I'm gonna come around and shake hands and do the glad handing. All right. Meeting adjourned. Board members, mix and mingle.
The meeting is now adjourned.